All right, hello, welcome to the generational gap, where we take a subject and then we talk about it with a panel of varying different generations. Today we are going to talk about language and how it's changing. But first, let's introduce our panel, and we're gonna start with Kaze.
What's going on?
All right. Next we have Smoke.
Hey, let me take this minute while I got y'all right here. Listen, we sorry about last week. We had some producer problems. I don't know what he was doing, but it was just some backstage problems. Everybody's here right now. We good to go. And again, we're sorry for last week. So like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll keep this thing going. Thank you. That was my PSA for y'all.
All right. We got Nimbus with us today.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Nimbus is back again. Let's have a good show.
And of course, last but not least, we got Broski.
The fat one and only. Yes, sir. What's poppin', everybody?
For my broski. For my broski. Yeah.
All right. So, a month ago, I was, doing my daily Google, right, to keep the ignorance away. And I found a lot of words to change that were being changed in the dictionary. So I purchased a dictionary from the 70s, and I purchased one from the 80s. And I did a couple comparisons. I didn't go deep into it, but there's something I noticed and I wanted to discuss with you guys and see if y'all agree. And that is the fact that our language is changing rapidly nowadays, and it usually changes more organically. I wanted to know, do you guys agree? And I'm gonna start with Broski.
Wait, why we start with me? Okay. Ask that question again, please.
I was saying that we language is changing rapidly these days, and I was wondering if, do you guys think, because it's the language is always changing constantly, right? It evolves, but I think it's not happening organically these days, right? I think it's being forced, and I wanted to get you guys' opinions on it.
Okay.
So, what is your opinion, Broski?
Or in, like, the language changing?
Yeah.
What do you mean exactly by changing? Like we have slang now, or like?
Well, not just slang, like just definitions of words. Like words are becoming, like they're losing their meaning. Like there's no absolute words anymore.
I don't really have the exact opinion on that, but I do know I'm not. I'll be honest. It's kind of dumb. I guess I do have an opinion. It's kind of dumb, honestly, because I guess if a large group of people say this is what something means, I guess that's what it means now. I think that's dumb. I think whatever the word actually means, or whoever made up the word, that's what the word should mean, not what a bunch of people think it should mean. So yeah, honestly, I think it's dumb. That's all.
Okay. We have a late arrival. Let me introduce Brandon real quick. Say what's up.
People? Sorry for the late arrival here. Just got back.
All right. But next we're gonna get Kaze's opinion real quick.
I think language and definitions change depending on whose agenda it fits. So, like, if they're trying to
create a narrative to where it fits them, they'll change the definition of a term or word that will fit the agenda. And that's just how rapidly stuff is changing nowadays. So people's agendas are met.
All right. Nimbus, how do you feel about the language changing?
Nimbus is mad. Let me tell you why Nimbus is mad. That the language is changing. Language used to be organic and based off of a root word or a root meaning and developed over time. Slang developed over time. But now we have with social media a word to come pop into existence that means absolutely nothing, but to the person who invented it randomly, but it become viral, and now its definition needs to be attended to and put in the dictionary. And be that it's slang and has no real meaning to it, I think that goes into other words that has some root meaning, has some root definition, but someone randomly changed it. And now that new meaning has to be addressed because using it in the old way, the old style, can lead to confusion in a conversation. So, with a lot of things now, it's just moving so fast that it has no real meaning to it. It'll be gone in no time. Like why the reason is bling and fleek in the dictionary. Why did Webster waste his time on that? I don't know. But Nimbus don't understand. Nimbus is mad.
All right. We'll come back to that in a minute. Uh, all right, Smoke. How do you feel about the way the language is changing, or how rapidly it's changing nowadays?
Well, it changes with every generation. Every generation is going to change because each generation supports and has their own meaning of certain things. Because if you look at, let's just look at the word, and we talked about this before. Let's just look at the word truth. If truth is truth, why do we need an adjective to describe truth? Because now we use, is it the absolute truth? Is it your truth or is it my truth? When did truth need adjective to describe it? You see what I'm saying? So things are changing, and I think it's because it's an easier get around. Nobody likes rules, so they try to change the rules for a quick get around. And that's what anybody, and then you got, when you break it down into even words meaning such things, then you have to break it down also by dialect and what part of the country you in, and whether it's southern dialect or northern dialect, or if it's ebonics, like or black, black cultures puts their own, everybody put their own swing on things. So uh but the most popular culture of words gets accepted more so than the less popular. So, and I hate to say this, and I ain't trying to sound anything racist or whatever, but whatever is in black culture has to cross over to white culture to be accepted. So, and part of that is called uh, cultural appropriation. So that's where languages and stuff get mixed around because one group of people had it, and another group of people want it. So when that so-called group of people that's ahead in the power structure takes that and adopt it as their own, that's when the words get changed.
All right. Um, Brandon, how do you feel about the topic?
So, I agree with what Smoke said, but I have a better opinion from my lovely wife who wants to have a whole rant session. She should
I
be
didn't say that.
come over here in a second, and she would love to talk about this lovely.
Get on the camera.
I didn't say I had a rec session. What I said was I have a very strong opinion. Hi,
Hello.
Get in frame.
I'm trying. My name's Niche. How you guys doing? I guess my opinion is it's like super silly. because things used to, like, words change. Words have changed for centuries. That's not really an issue. Like, to be full of awe used to mean bad, and now it's a good thing in the 1800s. So that's not an issue. But the issue is when people start taking like words that have social context in terms of like social issues, and they change it, or they do something to fit their narrative, or they start using words or even ideas to like project their own views or whatever they think is right, instead of looking at just facts or science or whatever has a basis. Like, if the sky is blue, the sky is blue, bro, type of thing. So that's my simple opinion of it. Like, words change, it's fine, but not to fit agendas and to be socially right. Like,
If the sky is blue, but what color of blue is the sky?
Yeah.
well, I guess it depends if it's colorblind or not. But I'm in as an example. I don't know, like, whatever.
It's sky
If
blue.
somebody says that you're scientifically, they prove that this is a part of your body, like your liver, then you can't just be like, today I feel like I'm not gonna have a liver. Like, that doesn't work. Like, stuff like that. Just people use words even just to fit narratives or to change them to be in a social context that just isn't based off of, like, it might be based off of their reality, but that doesn't mean it's based off of facts.
Okay, purple. Got you.
Everything's purple. Love it.
Everything is purple. Okay, so I guess we have a kind of a consensus that words do change. So when let's give some examples of when the language changing is a good thing before we jump into dissecting how what awful changes we've had in the past few years. Like, when is it a good time for language to change?
Oh, I got one for that one.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so the description of the highly melanated race in America has changed over time. What we've been called and accepted to be called as far as language. 50 years ago, it was okay to call us a Negro, but you call someone black a Negro now, you might get swung on. And all the different monikers that we had to carry as a people to be described, we settled on somewhere floating nowadays. I think we're settling around Black or African American, but now African American is going away because people say I was never born in Africa. I know nothing about Africa. I am American.
BIPOC.
My descendants are so far removed from Africa, I know nothing of it. So how can I then be African American? So that's one thing I've seen people have a problem with now. And now we're settling on Black. And that's starting to get some flack too, because now people want to be considered Black, they want to be considered brown. Or it's always some type of moniker that the minorities had to have. Because even though it might have been okay for my grandmother or my mom to be called Negro, my mom had an issue with being called colored, but my grandmother didn't at one time. So you call me colored now, we will have a game of catch these hands. I mean, even though my grandmother had no issue with it. So I think that changing over time of what is acceptable by a people to be called in a mass is a good thing. And eventually, one day, we'll be called American, and that's it.
But what if American becomes offensive one day? I mean,
it will be, but that's first of all, American is offensive already, but that's only when you leave America. So long as you're within the borders of America, being called American while I'm at home in these borders is fine. If I had to tiptoe around being called American when I go to North Korea, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But so long as I'm home, being called American is preferable.
the target on your back, regardless if you leave America, you are American. We are hated by most countries, it seems now. I mean, going on, but I mean, who's to say?
That's true, but I'd rather be hated for my country than my color.
True. Great.
Dad, you got something to add? I can see the wheels turning a little bit.
I don't want to go deep into this, but just say this, and I'm a veteran and I'm all that. How can you be loyal to a country that doesn't love you in the first place? How can you be loyal to a country that you die for that don't care about you and that still kills you? So what is the loyalty to that? They're not synonymous with each other. They hate you because of who you are. So how can you show loyalty to that? But I don't want to go there. We're not going to go there. And as far as being called different things as we go, we were always, and we called ourselves through biblical times, we called ourselves niggers. We were niggers. That's what we called ourselves. And that's in biblical times. Read the Bible, pick up Paul, read Paul. We called ourselves niggers. They changed the word to make us feel like we're less than what we are. But we're not. So we took that negative connotation that they bestowed upon us as something to degrade us. But we used to use the word for it ourselves. And that just degraded over time. Words change to affect society. If you need something let's just put it like this. Society today is bullies because one group is going to bully another group, and another group is going to bully another group. So when you get all these things, then that's when you start having the negative connotations of words changing towards that specific group. But wait a minute, I took this to race, didn't I? Let me back up. Cancel all I just said. Cancel all I just said. But words are used by specific groups to change the mind of the masses. And I'll leave it right there.
All right. Does anybody disagree or have anything to add?
No, I agree with that.
I think we got off topic a little bit.
Way off topic.
Yeah, way off topic. I believe the subject was when is it's a good time to change language, right?
We're far
Does
too
any
gone.
does anybody have any on that one, or should we just move on?
Move on.
Move on. All right. Moving on. Okay, so I guess the next obvious question are what are some examples where a changing the definition of a word was unnecessary? That one might be a little bit more easy to answer.
All right, so I'm gonna be devil's advocate here. No, hold on, wait. Before I answer this, I need to repeat that question one more time.
When is
Cause I had
when is it
Go ahead.
when is the language changing been bad? Like when you consider it's been unnecessary
All right,
or
I'm gonna say one word and then I'm gonna leave it at that because if I go too deep into it, it's gonna cause all type of issues. At one time, the word gender had one definition, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
No, don't leave
Now
it there.
you open up a whole can of worms now.
Started a war.
Man, open up a whole can of worms. You can't just leave it like that. No, you gotta go in depth with that because now
you're gonna have to
everything
elaborate
open.
a little bit. Like you gotta tell us why.
You knew what you were doing.
Yeah, you have to tell us why you feel that way. You can't leave it open ended like that. Not like that.
Hold on now. That's a rabbit hole in itself.
I know. See, that's and you say when it didn't want to have to do this. All right. as far as that is concerned, it's a whole can of worms. And then, like, damn, it's hard to stay on topic with that one word. All right, so try to get it down as short as possible. It had one definition. Now it has many definitions. What makes it confusing and undefined by the general masses. No one can give you a true meaning of what the word means because it means something different to everybody else. And if you don't agree with what it means to them, then you are wrong. And or it makes you wrong to the point of not just disagreement, but wrong to the point of bigoted and discriminatory if you simply do not agree with their definition of the word. Being that at one time it had one definition and it was easy, it had one set meaning. Now it has so many multiple meanings that no one can agree on. It made it a bad thing because simply disagreeing with someone's definition of that same word now can lose you your job or get you canceled because you don't agree with someone's definition of a word. And I'll leave it at that if that's good enough.
All
We
right.
need some elaboration.
Look, man, I don't want that smoke. I'm not trying to go down there. If I elaborate, we're going to get off topic. I never said what my opinions of the people's that I disagree with their definition is. It's just about the fact that I can no longer disagree with that definition. One that's changing every day because 6 months ago it meant something that's different than it means today, that it meant different 15 years ago. But if I disagree with that person's definition and they don't like it, I'm bad. I never said what my understanding and definition of the word is. I just said it had one at one time.
Okay.
All right. Anybody have anything else to add?
I think it all goes back to people trying to use words to fit their agenda. So that's why things change, and that's why what Nimbus was saying, you can't no longer disagree uh, with someone's new definition or how they feel a word should be meant now, because they're all just trying to fit an agenda, and and to fit their agenda, they'll take down anybody in their path.
All right.
Well, it's hard to say stuff because you're wrong every time. Because again, like you just said, if it doesn't fit the narrative, then you're automatically labeled the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I guess-
what about your beliefs? What about how you feel about the situation?
That
Does
doesn't
that
matter
even count?
anymore.
That
does
doesn't
not.
count no more because the world we live in, everything you say is wrong. And if you don't agree with the crowd herd, then
You either with them or you're against them. Is how it goes.
I'm against them all the way. I'm against them all. Bring the smoke. I'm ready for all the smoke. I'm against it all the way. All 100%. The word gender means what gender means. Male, female, period. I don't care. Bring me the smoke. That's it. That's my belief. Now that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to my opinion. So if you don't agree with my opinion, I ain't gonna persecute you. You got your own opinion. But I'm sticking to my opinion of the definition of the word gender.
We're not allowed to have opinions in 2021.
Okay. So it seems like this group is a little just a taste on the red side. Um. So let me ask the question. So, how do you guys feel about modifiers? Right. I think somebody touched on it when they said "my truth," right, versus just the truth,
Yeah.
Right.
or like personal victories. participation trophies. What's some other pretty terrible.
What's the point
Um,
of participation trophies? Everyone's supposed to be a winner. I mean, I don't. There's
They,
winners
So
and there's losers.
it's that nobody gets left out rule. They start
No one gets
doing,
left behind. I never
yeah,
understood that.
they're going because
You don't see the NFL passing out and Super Bowl. Oh, good job, good job. You guys didn't win, but congratulations still.
well, okay, I'll play devil's advocate to the participation trophies thing because
yeah. I know you strong feelings about that one.
I
super.
got okay. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. All right, all right. Because participation trophies are what they are, right? It's not a
Thank you for
it's not
playing.
a, it's not a thing for winning, right? It's the reward you get for participating, right? That is what a participation trophy is. Um, Now, if the question is whether or not you agree with the participation trophy, that's a different subject, right?
So okay. So are you saying participation trophies are the same as like it was just a um, honor to be nominated type thing? Like, yeah, you was there, but you didn't win, so we're giving you your thing for being there. I mean,
Yeah, that's basically what a participation trophy is, right? It's um not a reward because you have to earn rewards. It
but
is it's like it's a certificate if, for you participating, right? It's for record keeping.
I
Like
get
you were a part of this contest, right?
You
That's what
showed
a
up.
participation trophy. Yeah, yeah, you showed up. Okay, you showed up. Here's the proof you showed up. You get the participation trophy. That's what a participation trophy is.
But okay, so the first time I seen participation trophy show up, the first time I ever seen it show up was at a kids soccer game. Um, there was a winner and a loser. The team that won got trophies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the team that won didn't get participation trophies. The team in itself got one big trophy, and they had to share between the team. The team that lost all got individual participation trophies. But the team that won also participated. They just happened to win. I think what they did was they didn't want the kids that lost to feel bad and accept that sometimes you lose and you have to do better next time, and to coddle their feelings as far as losing the contest, they gave them a participation trophy. So at least you walk away with something. Because the team that won, none of that team members got the small trophies for participation. And that's when I first called BS on participation trophies. I mean, I understand, but where you coming from, it's a trophy for participation, but it's the reasons why they gave it to them. Just like the same reason why some teachers stopped using a red pen to check mark wrong answers on tests, because they didn't want to make the kids feel bad because red, the color, has a negative connotation. So they started using other colors to tell them that they failed. So they feel better about failing instead of just getting better.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't even
kind
think
of
about the red marker thing until you just actually said something.
yeah, but that's I don't know. That'll be a conversation for another time, right? That's a whole entire subject. That's catering and pandering, right? We're
And
not.
that's what I think
Yeah,
participation
we're
trophies
not. There,
are
we're
under.
not there right now. We could go there,
No, we ain't got to go there. We good,
but
but that's
yeah,
what
but
I
just
think that participation trophies fall under. And the only reason I feel that way, like I said, the team that won didn't get participation trophies.
no, no. Of course, you know I have strong opinions about participation trophies, but I mean that's what a participation trophy is, and it's not my job right now to rant. So we're gonna move on. Oh, but those are some of the examples of modifiers that are used. How do you feel about those modifiers? Are they necessary? And if you feel that they're necessary, when is it a good time to use them? And if they're not necessary, then, kind of explain yourself a little bit.
Okay. Using modifiers as you so adequately put it, I feel like this. It's cheating the individual who has to use a modifier because they can't accomplish the goal that the word exactly means. If you're a champion, that means you have to work to be a champion. There's no working participation. None.
Yeah, but so
Wait a minute.
wait. With that being said, what about the people's champion, right?
What do you mean people's champion?
I mean, they exist. Like the person the people pick as their champion versus the person who actually won. Like the people's champion is a thing for a reason. How do
Okay,
you
it's
feel about
okay.
that? That's a modifier as well.
I'll break it down in a football term. Everybody loves the backup quarterback, right?
Oh yeah.
More so than the starting quarterback, right? And you know what that reason is? Because that backup quarterback has to throw an interception. He ain't took a snap. He ain't guilty of doing anything but participating.
There we go.
So the modifier is a way to make those who don't want to work hard, when I say everybody, of course, but those who don't want to work hard, included. They want to make everybody included to that to make them feel better. But here's the thing, that only hurts the weaker kids because if the goal is to win and to better yourself, then you will never work at being better because you're going to get a trophy anyway. So what's the point? What's the point? Then in that case, there's no need for winners if everybody wins. You feel me?
Okay, so no, I do completely, right? But what if the situation changes where the sport isn't to win, it's just to play?
That would never happen.
Okay, well, okay, so in that sense, participation trophies, the only place, and okay, I don't want
I
to.
thought we left participation trophies already. We're going to do a whole show on that now. But we still have some snuck back to participation trophies again.
All right, so like the only time I think is okay, and I've seen it okay, was in the Special Olympics. That's the only time I've seen participation trophies, I think, be okay.
Why was that okay?
I don't know why. I don't know why. Because of the hard work that they had to do to get there. And yes, they have a winner and things like that. But I think they have to go through a lot more just to show up and not so much win. Their victory is often in the showing up to things and doing things that people doubted that they could do. So it's not always about, like you said, it's not always about winning in their situation. It's about getting the courage to show up in the first place.
Okay.
I can understand situations where the courage to show up or the difficulty to show up in the first place deserves some recognition. But when all things are equal against all competitors and all participants, a clear winner needs to be decided.
All right.
Okay, let's go to the modifier. Let's go to the modifier on truth. Let me hear if anybody can give me why you need a modifier for the word truth.
Okay. I'm not saying then you have to define what is truth. Is it what happened, or would you convince enough people to believe?
That's
Because
Isn't the
actually a
word
fair
isn't the,
question.
wo- isn't the word truth enough? If this is the truth, should that be enough?
That's when it used to be an absolute thing.
Yeah,
yeah,
It's
but the
no
truth is
longer
not.
that.
I'm saying like we lost absolute words. The truth is no longer absolute.
right. So like,
Okay. Why do we need a modifier though?
because people's response to the truth matters, or people's response to their understanding of the truth matters. Okay, so for certain people in this country, it is their truth, their individual truth, that all minorities are dangerous and need to be feared. Whether it is the truth as a global whole, to them doesn't matter because they're going to respond to their version of the truth until their version of the truth is changed. There was a time in our history that it was absolute truth that the world was flat. Now you still got people fighting over whether that's true or not now, but it was absolute truth to the point of death for disagreeing. It was absolute truth that the Earth was the center of our universe. We know it's not, but it didn't matter because you were killed for disagreeing. That's when I go back to the point of what is the truth? What actually is, or would you convince enough people to believe? Now, I'm more on your side, Smoke, when it is what it actually is. When people believe that the Earth was the center of the universe, it wasn't true at all, not even close to being true. But did it matter when everyone else disagreed with you to the point where what you said didn't matter at all? So that was their truth. Now, as we get more educated in the world and we can better prove our versions of the truth, then in that sense, absolute truth is absolute. Fire is hot. There is no, oh, the sun is bright. There is no in between those. It's true because it can't be denied. But anytime you can put an opinion in something, then the truth can be manipulated to somebody's ideas, fears, or agenda. That's all I got to say. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Does anything anybody else have anything to add to what he just said?
Nope.
No, nothing. All right. All right. So we talked about modifiers a little bit. Let's talk about like let's talk about more absolute words like favorite, right?
Or
Like
best.
favorite, or it used to be an absolute word, right? And then or um
Best.
or best, yeah, best. Victory used to be absolute. Um, let's let's try to come up with some words that have changed for the better, right? Because like what else? Do you guys have any examples of words that needed to change that have changed um positively? Like for example, um like saying can't, right? Like can't used to be a thing you couldn't say if you go far enough back. It was cannot, and saying can't was completely wrong. But now saying can't is okay. And I'm not saying that necessarily in itself is a positive one. I'm just giving you an example that maybe you can use and go forth from there. You got any positive change in words?
At the moment, I can't think of any, nothing that didn't change or organically over time. Not saying that it was positive or negative, but I don't know of any words right now that had a clear definition when I was younger and have a different definition now that I would consider better.
Better.
Might be
Um,
different or different words used that roll off the tongue better, maybe. But as far as it meant something different then and it's different now and it's better for the change, I'm not exactly sure. I can't think of anything right now.
I don't
I don't
know
know.
about one that's better. Uh, you got ain't, which is like the
Burns.
same thing as isn't, like, or it is not. It is not right. What is it?
yeah.
Uh, so I don't know why we needed another one, but we got another one, and I don't know about one that's better. It's kind of hard to think about right now. Let me think. Like that was a good idea to change. Like I'm not sure.
Okay. What about words that changed out of ignorance, right? And just got popular. And of course, my favorite word to hate on is conversate, right? And that's become a word because people forgot that converse was a thing. So how
Yeah,
do you feel about
conversation.
words changing like that? Like or new words being introduced and replacing old words from a place of ignorance, I guess, or
I think it's a problem because a lot of our words, like you said, had a root to it. Even our slang, the new slang is usually made up words to out of the blue. When older slang was usually shortened versions of actual words to the point where it meant the same thing or something different, but it was taken from, you can trace the roots back to the words. Like, okay, one slang that caught me off guard when I used to live in Columbus, I had a guy from New York as a friend, and when he used to get upset about something, he was saying he getting all swole. He was swole as F about this situation. I didn't understand what swole meant. I was like, what is that? But it was the same way we used to say getting salty about a situation. And I can understand swole getting big, getting pumped up, getting angry. When salty, it left a bitter taste in your mouth. It was negative. Not saying salt is bad, for the people who might be listening. It's just what it was. But I understood at least where the root of the idea for those words came from. But for the life of me, I can't find the root of fleek. What is it
do we still say flake?
they did at one time, or whatever has replaced fleek now? I'm not up on my new slang, so whatever has replaced that word now.
We got a residential Generation Z person on the show. Broski, what replaced Fleek for all the old heads watching?
You said replace what?
Fleek.
What? Like that's on fleek?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what replaced Fleek?
Give me the definition of fleek again.
I thought you would know. I was about to say,
I haven't
it's
used that
after
word in
your
forever.
generation.
that is within your generation. It was born and died within your generation. So what the word fleek, or what you thought the word fleek used to mean when you said they own fleek, what is the word that people use now to mean the same thing?
Oh, drip.
Drip.
Yeah, they dripping.
Okay, I have
Okay,
heard drip.
Dripped
Yeah.
out.
Now I've heard drip.
Yeah.
What where did the word drip come from? What was dripping or drip edge? Where did it come from?
I don't know where
They
it came
made
from.
one.
We just all
That
started
was
saying it.
the first time I heard dripping was dripping in swag, right? Then it got shorter. I mean, I don't know if I'm right, but that's where I first heard it. Like they were dripping in
I
swag.
remember the song.
All I know is we used to wear a drip. That's all I know.
I thought their nose was running.
Wow.
like okay, that was Bruno Mars while he was dripping in finesse. But
Yeah,
Mhm.
he did have that dripping in finesse song. Yeah.
Which was good, by the way.
so which I understand his usage of it is that he was swagging out so much that it was literally precipitating off of him. The way he used it, where I at least understand where he was coming from, but drip is now the jewelry or the clothes that you wear. Now, can you be dripping? Can your car be dripping? And if it is, what's dripping about the car? Is it the paint, the wheels, the sound,
Oil, the
the
oil.
So with a lot of these words having no real root to original meanings, it's kind of hard to keep up with them. Drip is just something someone started saying one day. Now it got popular. Now it needs a definition of what you mean by dripping. But it'll be going away soon. Just like Fleet did, somebody come up with something else different, and then it'll mean the same thing.
Well, back in my time, the words were, I guess they were different. But the only thing, I mean, because I remember just getting bent out of shape for just my kids saying yes. I mean, saying yeah instead of yes. That was as far as the extent that I can go. I mean, you can't say yeah to me, but you can say yes. So I don't. And I thought that was out of hand to say yeah. So you know, that's how far the words have changed.
And I think Smoke back in your day, there was a much heavier um, emphasis on speaking proper English because I think it was assumed that this is just a thought process that black people were ignorant anyway, so not being able to speak the language properly made us look worse in the eyes of other people. So something that we could control, even if we couldn't control our skin color or where we was born and things like that, we can at least speak properly and sound proper to the point where at least that could be acceptable. So any slang term used on words was seen as negative. You always speak proper. Speak.
That's about right. That's about right because we used as far as even our clothing and stuff. We were more business minded as far as dress than we were casual.
Um. Okay. Let me see. We talked about slang. Um. I'm probably not gonna get a good answer from this, but I have to ask it. If there were some words or definitions you would want changed, what would they be?
Hmm.
You don't want the answer to that.
Go ahead. I mean, unless you're afraid to say,
I
go
ain't
for
afraid
it.
to say nothing. But if I could change anything, I'd probably change the freaking change it back to only. There's only two genders. It's just straight back. I'm gonna change it back to that.
So okay, so gender for you, you would change it back.
I'm gonna change it
Okay.
back.
Anybody else have a word they would want to change if they could? No.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Okay.
I would like the word. I'll just spell it bitch to change instead of now to where it's more acceptable, back to where it wasn't acceptable.
Well, acceptance on that word is, I guess, relative, right? Nowadays, because you got females who call each other the word, and it's it's
Yeah,
just.
talking about. Hmm,
And
go ahead.
then if you might say it to somebody, and then bam, fight has started. So it's just.
Right.
I don't think it's. I mean, it has been. I guess it is more tolerated now from some people, but it's still. I don't think it's accepted as much as you think it is.
No, I just saying I just want to go back to where it's just bad. Period. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I agree with you. Or if you're gonna take a hold of the word, accept it no matter who it's coming from. Because I ain't seen girls the bitch, but they can be the proudest, the baddest, the biggest, the realest, the illest be in the world. But if you call them one, all heck got to break loose. I mean, you gonna own the word, own the damn word.
My
You know,
point.
That's their word. You're not allowed to use it. That's the rules, right? How do y'all feel about like exclusive words? Let's talk about that for a second. Like like the N word is exclusive. Uh Nowadays what the F word, we're not allowed to say it. And not the UCK one, the other one, right? Like that's their word.
oh,
Or
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm over that threshold. What word now?
you know the word.
bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean FAG?
Yeah, for sure.
That ain't never changed.
Yeah, it has. That's their word. You're not allowed to say it. They are though.
Oh,
That's the N word for them.
well, I've been saying that my whole life.
I'm just saying. So, how do you feel about words being exclusive? Then, like, give me your thoughts on exclusive words.
Um,
Uh,
I don't agree at all. If a word is bad because it makes you feel a certain way about when one person says it, then it should be bad no matter who says it. Like the N word, let's put it like that. I try my best to get it out of my vocabulary as much as possible. I grew up in a world where it was used excessively, so it is part of my vernacular, and it does slip out sometimes. But more
wait
to
a minute. Wait a minute. What word is that?
the N word,
A?
N.
Oh, N. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
The A word.
So, um, since it has been so used in growing up, I have used other words to replace it. Might be meaning the same thing, but I prefer to use ninja over that word. And that's with only a certain group of friends that understand. But I don't like even you with a person of a minority to use the N word, especially in the sense where people say, "Well, why are you mad about the N word? You black, aren't you?" I'm like, so being black makes me an N word in your eyes. I'm like, no, I don't like the word. Period. So I try not to use it and try not to make it exclusive. I don't allow it in my household, and I do my best to keep it out of my vernacular.
Okay. So wait. So what you just did there was you culturally appropriated a word and made it mean something else. You took ninja to make it mean something totally different, right?
Mm-hmm.
but then you don't want to use the N word because that's what you're not. That's what you're saying. Did I get that right?
Yes, but not in the N word, as that's what I'm not. Minorities have taken the N word and made it their own and use it as a term of affection. Whether I agree with it or not is the word I grew up in. Saying your homeboy or the dude, a good friend of yours, was that's my N word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that definition of the N word was never put into dictionaries. It usually ends in the A instead of the ER. And not saying that is what I am or am not. I understand the terms of endearment when people who grew up in that society in that nice in that lifestyle, when they approach me and they talk about Nimbus, they're like, "Yeah, Nimbus, that's my N word. That's my N." No, I understand what you mean by it, but I still don't like the word. It still roll up the tongue and hit the ears a little different. So if you're gonna do that, change the term of endearment to ninja. Because I still not the ER version definition of the word. Now, whether it was originally our word and uh, we called ourselves that in the Bible and things like that, which I can't argue, disagree with, anything like that, because I don't have the knowledge to put forth on that argument. But if that was true, what it
Yeah.
means now, universally, the word has completely changed to the point where the only truth of the word is, like I said before, what's the truth? The true meaning of the word, or what we convince the world to believe what that word means?
Correct.
It doesn't matter any longer that the original meaning of that word meant something completely different. Because as the mass of the world now, the N word is forbidden. Well, at least in the Western world, the N word is forbidden because of the meaning it now has. Its original meaning is long dead.
Um, how do y'all feel about that? Is that okay? That a word could like it could just be forbidden just because and not just verbal speech, right? Like the okay sign is no longer okay to use, right?
Well, depending on where you are, like Russia, the OK sign meant the same thing as the middle finger here in America. So depending on where you are around the world, the OK sign was offensive before it became this new offensive, which is confusing as heck to me. But and whether I agree with the new meaning of the OK sign,
What the OK sign stand for now?
you know,
People believe
Like
it's white power.
yeah, that it means
Oh,
white power, right? So
Well, they say it means white power. I,
yeah, now they say it does.
there's not very much proof, and that's a whole nother topic. I'm sorry.
can I
Keep
change
going.
it and make it 3-6 Mafia instead?
3 6 Mafia. um,
right. That OK sign too is used for a Greek fraternity sign for the Kappas.
well, they gotta come up with something new now. So, um, yeah, it's okay. So there's no nobody has any words that they would want to change.
So I
Like
told you
none
mine,
whatsoever.
the BITCH for me.
Okay, well we got you. No one else.
I'm trying to think.
Genders for me.
Oh yeah, you're right. You did say gender. I'm sorry. So I guess there's not neither Kaze or Nimbus has any words they would want to change.
Not Nimbus.
I'm
Nimbus
sure
ain't got
there's
nothing. Nimbus ain't got nothing.
I'm sure there's one. I just can't think. Put my finger on it.
No, as far as a word to change or change back its meaning, no, not really. Overall, as far as changing the meaning of the words, no. Good.
Oh, I got a question. I got a question while we thinking on that, D. I got a question. Has the definition of love changed?
Has
Yeah,
the definition of love ever been defined properly? Because you can love your dog, pizza, your car, your children, your wife, and your God, but they all mean a different thing. So has love ever been defined, let alone changed? Your love for your favorite food, your love for your favorite car, your favorite TV show, your child, your God, and your wife. All love, all means something different.
Does it mean something different? Okay. Right. Okay.
Um, okay. Well, we're at the hour mark. I don't want to make it go too long.
Wait a minute, we
As
got
this
15 more minutes,
tradition,
don't we?
you
We
said
got
what?
15 more minutes. We got 15 more minutes, don't
We can stretch it 15 more.
I'm just kidding.
But as this tradition, does the panel have any final questions they want to ask me or any of the other panels or any of the other people on the panel?
nope.
And or closing statements or anything?
Okay, well, B, I'll play the advocate this week, D. Is there any words that you like to change the meaning of?
Yes, poverty.
What do you want to, from what to what?
Poverty is a mindset.
Um, they need to change the definition of poverty from being under a certain. So, poverty is loosely defined as making a certain income, right? Like so, let's say under 30. Just to keep it simple, let's say under 30,000 is poverty, right? They need to change the definition to being um spending all your money, right? Because if you're making $1 million a year, but your expenses are $1 million, and you have no money at the end, you're in poverty, in
I was,
my opinion,
that's
right?
what I
Because
was
then
saying.
as soon as you miss a check, your life is over, right? Everything is out of whack, then that's poverty.
I can get behind that.
That's why I
Yeah.
Depending,
just said poverty is a mindset.
not. I understand where you're coming from, Broski, as a part of being mindset, but he's like anyone who lives check to check, regardless of the size of the check, is in poverty. Because if you miss a check and then your life changes because that check was missed and changes to the negative to the point where if you miss one check, it hurts. If you miss two checks,
It's
it's
over.
detrimental. If you miss three checks, you cannot recover to the same level you are, or it's going to take you a long time to recover to that same level. That's poverty. Even if you were making $1 million a year, like you said, your expenses are $1 million. You can miss one check, it'll hurt, but you might be able to bounce back. But you miss two checks, your life is completely over. That $1 million life is no longer who you are. And if you miss three checks, the likelihood you're ever going to get back to that $1 million life is slim to none. So millionaires in that sense can be in poverty. It's more of living check to check. Anybody check to check is scared of missing that next check, regardless of what level you at.
Is
Um,
that what you meant, B?
and in less words, yeah, basically.
Does math count
Math.
as a language? Because I think they need to switch it back to the normal way because they going out of control right now.
You talk about yeah. That should be a whole other subject
All
for
right.
sure. Because I mean that's a race thing too, right? Um, Yeah, we should definitely save that for another topic because that's maybe we'll do a big race stream.
Uh-oh.
Um, why'd you say oh? What's wrong?
We're gonna get canceled already.
Uh, I'm about to say we have to get going first. We're still early. They wouldn't cancel us this early. It's just when we make it, somebody might go back, 4 or 5 years and find a video, and then we'll have to explain ourselves. Maybe something like that will happen.
They'll be like, Kazakh started it all back in back in 2021. It was Kazakh.
Yeah.
Look, don't be trying to have them dig up videos on me, man.
Like I said, I'm free. I have no videos, no social media. Come at me. You have to go old school.
Yeah. But all right, let me let me give everybody a chance. All right. So hit Smoke up on IG. If you got questions for him, anything you want to say to potential fans or anything before we get out of here.
If you like the gray, hit the IG, baby.
Love this guy.
All right. All right, Kaze. Anything you want to say to end the show?
Yeah, thanks for watching. If you like us, please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends. Share it. If you would like to join, you can hit me or my brother Brian VBD on Facebook or Instagram. We'll have links in the description. And yeah.
All right. Broski, you got some social medias you want to plug?
Make sure you guys follow JDMJ official. And like. You need to like it. Make sure you like the video. That's all.
All right. And Nimbus, any closing statements?
Oh yeah, as everybody said before, like the video, comment, subscribe. We can use some feedback on the nonsense that be coming out our face. So if y'all got something to say about it, put in the comments. We might have a show about one of y'all comments. Y'all can reach me at no social media because I don't care. I staying away from that, but I'm having fun doing this. So y'all want to get that Nimbus, just hit Nimbus up in the description, and I will respond to whatever's posted. Have a good night.
Nimbus, I just got a comment on you. It said, tell Nimbus to keep his remarks shorter than 10 seconds.
Aw.
He said,
I'm just joking.
Hey man, I be going in sometimes. It's what happens. If I got a comment, I try to keep it down. I'll keep it short. I'll give you the cliff versions. I tried that earlier, and y'all told me no. When I said gender, and that's it. No, you got to describe no. Now I told you I ain't want to go in on that, and y'all down the rabbit hole. I was trying not to go.
As the moderator, the longer you talk, the less work I gotta do. So I'm all for it. But like they said, if you enjoyed the show, like, comment, and subscribe. Please share. And if y'all have a topic y'all would like us to discuss, share those too. We'll be happy to do it. We're gonna do a format change. I think we're gonna go live on Thursday. We're gonna try that, and right now it'll be the Facebook because that's the only page I have set up right now. But we're willing to expand. And we need you to share, and we need criticism the most right now. I think. But again, thank you guys for watching, and this has been the Generational Gap.
Excuse me,
Peace.
villain. Excuse me, villain.
Yes.
I don't do criticism well.
Fair enough.